So, I have been doing some pretty extensive research, and I've discovered that this apparently doesn't work anymore because the villagers just take too long to pick up the items when they're exchanging them. So we need to completely change the design for our villager breeder. The one in my old world doesn't work anymore. It worked with old villagers, but with new ones it would never work. So, not sure what's happening there, but we have to design something new. It should actually be pretty straightforward. I'm thinking it'll basically be something that's just a platform. Hang on, we gotta fly over here a little bit. So we just build it up a bit. We actually, I think, have pretty well everything I'm gonna need for my for this in my inventory. So we do like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I made a 5th one, and then we go over here. And then if we do this, I've actually did something similar a long time ago for a breeder. If we do this, and then we have our, we put boop, 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 boop. Now the downside to this is it won't work infinitely. But what will happen, and we'll have a collection system for the villagers down there, of course, but what will happen is we can actually use it, which is really the most important part. So we're already doing it manually, so automatic doesn't matter. And they should have no problem breeding. Whenever you want to have that kid. There he is. So the baby is born. Beautiful. He'll go into a water stream that brings him back into that same system. That does, however, mean that what we just spent a little while building, we didn't see it on camera because, you know, we built a system here. It has to be changed. Not very much. We can salvage the villagers, which are probably the hardest part. But small changes. The collection bin down below I think we'll keep as well. So, where is it? This room here we'll actually probably be able to keep. Maybe have to make it a bit larger. But build this up higher. So I'll get to work on that and hopefully have a functioning breeder soon. So, we've got them in this new system. You throw them a boatload of bread. Probably way too much. And it's that fast. Baby, any second. Any second. I see the child. Now the child must be enticed to cross the water. He's jumping on the bed because it's playtime. Oh, and they fed him! I don't like that. The fact they gave him food is actually a bit of a problem. Because what'll happen is when he's an adult in this chamber, he can breed with other villagers then. Oh, wait, I don't think they'll be able to because they shouldn't be able to see a bed. I'm not sure how long it'll take for this kid to try to cross this. Mostly he's just jumping all the time. All right, we get it, child. You're a rambunctious young man, and you're just playing. Cross. So I'm having a thought that it might be that this needs to be a little bit bigger, the platform over here, because there are so few places for him to want to be over here. And that was exactly it. Okay. Cool. So he'll now go and he'll stand there, and hopefully he can't breed with the other ones. It's not the end of the world if he can. It's just massively inconvenient if he can't. So yeah, there we go. New functioning villager breeder. This could be automated by having like the same mechanization where there's like a farmer up here that, you know, he can't get down there for whatever reason, but he can see them, so he throws food to them. It's just that they can't pick up items between each other as quickly as they used to be able to. Okay, so we spent some time working on an iron farm yesterday, and this was what we came up with first. And a number of issues were discovered. First of all, I noticed that these were kind of too close. They were too low to the ground, so that by the time the zombie made his way back, there was still a golem there, and so they would be like, I'm not spawning a golem, screw you, and they'd leave it. So then we went over to this build, which was also going to be hopefully stackable, and it wasn't enough. So the zombie, which I had 2 for this one, the zombie would make his way over and we'd have basically the exact same problem. It was a little bit faster, but also there was 2 layers, so you would expect twice as fast, but it wasn't. So then we moved over to this build, and this build was definitely more than twice as fast as that build for a number of reasons, but it was also a lot more resources involved. We had one zombie, which I think has actually died now, going around in circles, and then he'd drop down and do the loop again. And this was about half... Basically, each module would spawn a golem about half the time, which was good production. I was getting some decent iron production out of it, but the problem... Like, I'll show you real quick, but the problem was that the amount of resources required to build this at that production was kind of weird. So we got... This was only maybe 10-15 minutes. We got a few hundred iron. So it was good production, but I didn't like the amount of resources and time it took to produce this, and it was just not quite right. So I shut the live stream off. We went over there in a second. I shut the live stream off. I went and got something to eat. I was 5.5 hours of trying to design something. I got quite frustrated. So I shut it off, went and got something to eat, and I came back, and so right before I stopped live streaming, I had the thought that what if I held the zombie at each location for a little bit? And I looked at the space and I was like, I could do it if each of these platforms was raised, but I don't have the room. Like, I could only do it on the top. I couldn't do it on the middle ones because, you know, there's next thing above it. So I let that sit. I came back and I redesigned Nembomb's farm. I'm not sure. I've never actually seen his video on how the Nembomb iron farm works, but here's what we came up with. The zombie, who has a pumpkin on his head, will go over and he'll be held here. What happens is this detector rail turns on a pulse extender that turns off this power for a while and then lets the zombie go. It's not timed, like I haven't done the exact math on how long he needs to stay at each location or anything like that, but it does 100% of the time when he goes up to a station spawn a golem. And the rates are pretty good, I think. Once we've got all the iron filtered into one stream, we should have a decent amount. This works. Certainly no complaints. I don't know if it's as fast as that one was, but this is a hell of a lot cheaper and it's still pretty good production. So what I've done is I've moved into this world and I've done an outline. This one's thought out a little bit more than the other one. I'm at a point where like I feel like I should have just copied Nembomb's design and just done his farm, but I don't know. Like I don't like copying designs if I can avoid it. If I can figure it out myself. This is similar, it's close enough, it's got 5 That's why we built it above the ocean. It's got 5 modules, it's going to work. I've spent some time already today on stream collecting resources to build it. Really all we're missing is the villagers, and of course the zombie. Everything else I think I've got the resources to build it. I've got a full barrel almost full of glass. The reason I have to build it out of glass is because a golem can spawn on not glass blocks, basically. So if I built it out of stone bricks, even where there's rails, the golem would still spawn there. So that's not good. That's real bad, actually. We use glass instead. But because I like to trade and buy my glass, it takes a while because I have such bad villager infrastructure on this world right now. But we've got it. Here's our mostly full thing of barrel of glass, which should be enough, I'm certain. I've gone ahead, I did a little bit of mining, of course. I went and I got a bunch of rails. That should be more than enough rails. Fingers crossed, of course. So I just need to set up killing chambers, which I can't really do until I got the golems going. Well, I guess I kind of can. I have to set up killing chambers. I'm going to have to make it look good. I'm going to have to do something with that. But, yeah, I think the next step is... I guess I could just assemble mostly it. Okay. Let's go. I'll go take a check on the villagers, and then we'll start assembling what we can assemble so far. So I just finished building most of the farm. I just was thinking that it was done, but I'm missing. Every one of these needs a packed ice or blue ice. I'm gonna go with blue ice just because screw it, right? But a blue ice platform on top of this that extends and flows the golems out here. But as far as the rails are concerned, and then the places the villagers will sit, it is done. So what we're missing is a conveyor system for the golems, and then a place to kill the golems, and then a zombie. And that's it. That's all we're missing. It's done otherwise, which is just phenomenal. That didn't take that much, and resource-wise, I have so many rails left over, which is really good because I needed rails to get the villagers over here. So, all in all, pretty good. This is good. This is a good project that went surprisingly well, and surprisingly quick. It's only, well, about an hour, I'd say, to slap this much together. Unfortunately, I don't have the blue ice on hand. I have to go to my ice spike. The good news about that, however, is I know how to get there. I know its coordinate. And on top of that, we can just nether travel it. I'm going to make a nether road to it to get there quicker. So that's what we're going to work on for a little bit. Pause the progress on the iron farm that's already almost done. And then move back once we've got the ice. While digging our tunnel, we've discovered another bastion. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Not right now, I don't think. I'll probably come back with maybe some strength potions, a little bit more equipment, and certainly more inventory space. We know where it is after all. It's not like it's gonna go anywhere. So now we're putting in the platform that the golem can spawn on. It's going to be it's going to go right up to this edge of that shield, but then it's actually going to go out on either side, just one, and then it's only going to go back two. So it's a 5x5. And now we want to put a kind of perimeter of something that'll stop water around it. We're using dirt here because it's easy to destroy super quickly first. The reason we use ice for this is like a regular block would work okay, but this with its reduced friction will help it just a little bit faster move off to the edge. It's not a huge difference, but it is a difference, and so it's worth doing, I think. And then we don't need that corner, or we also don't need this corner, I suppose. Let's try and be a little resource friendly here. This corner. And then we open up each of the doors so that the hitboxes, I mean, so the side could be any block, I suppose. But whatever. We remove the dirt. Now we have to place in the water. I brought some regular ice for this. We do it in this corner, so that it filters him kind of in the center here. And that way he's as close to the middle as possible, as controlled as possible. If we did just a straight line, you could spawn on the edge and then fall off, and there's just that little bit less control. Kind of frustrating when it's so easy to fix. So that's all we have to do for the next 4 more platforms, and then it's collection system. I guess I can put the villagers in whenever, but it's collection system, villagers in either order, and the zombie I'm going to do last. But once the zombie is in, it works. It will produce iron. So we're actually quite close, I think. The collection system might take me a couple minutes to get something simple set up for it. Just because I have to get enough lava up here, and I have to have it centered well, I'd say, but we're pretty close. So hopefully we have a functioning rail here. That should pick up that man, and I guess I nudge him. Oh right, that's off. Shoot, hang on, don't mind me. Turn that off. Now, there's no question I'll get up to the top because it's all powered rails. But I spaced out 3 powered rails every 32 regular rails. Oh, by the way, we had a lot of extra rails. So, rip all that iron. But anyway, we're going to have an iron farm soon. So, oh yeah, he's going. Okay. Please wait for me, sir. Please wait for me, sir. So what we have to do is extend this bridge periodically to get it to each of the other what, I don't know what I'd call them, to be honest. I think the reason I can't think of the word is because it doesn't have a formal name. I guess the villager pods? The pods that hold each group of villagers? So I think I'm going to keep you in your minecart, actually, until I'm ready to operate this machinery. So, kind of went and trapped myself a small bit. That's fine. We can just do that, and then do that, and then I'm back to... Shoot. Yep. So I have to go back to that base there, make one more minecart, because it's 3 villagers per. Then I go in. Yeah. Yeah, break the minecarts. Ender Pearl! A use for Ender Pearls? That is unprecedented. So I'll use Ender Pearls. Wow, okay. Wow, I completely forgot about Ender Pearls. So I'll use Ender Pearls. We'll have that sorted. And before long, all we're missing is our zombie and the collection. But the thing about our collection system is I don't have enough iron. I need so much more iron. Actually, only probably 4 or 5 stacks more of iron. That should be sufficient. It's funny that to make my iron farm I need more iron, but it is what it is. So where did I put that little bit? That little bit. One more cart. Thank you. That's not where that goes. We put that there. And, oh, my pearls. Don't forget the pearls. Need pearls. So, I guess I'll touch back in once I've got... I'm working on the collection system next. I don't think I have enough villagers stored up. There's not a big chance I've got 15 villagers all on that little pod. So I'll touch back in once I'm working on the item collection. I don't know why, but something's just blown up. I just heard an explosion. And I have absolutely no idea where or why. Excuse... What could it possibly have been? Do I have... There's no babies in there. That means these guys need more bread. No. Was it in here? Did the golems attack a creeper somehow? No. I'm freaking out. I have no idea what that explosion was. It sounded like it was underneath these dudes, but I don't see anything blown up. That's sketchy. Okay. We have finally finished the Iron Golem farm. There's a zombie rotating. It's not perfect. I'm going to extend the delay on both of these ones because he only seems to spawn one in either of them every rotation. So I ended up being right. I think they were a little bit too close together. So I think by adding just one extra comparator delay on either, that should make that function correctly. We did have a small problem. First of all, I put the zombie in before I had lava in to kill them. And also, there's, I don't know how well you can see them, but there are some golems on the bottom of the ocean. They're just gonna stay there forever, I think. And that's that. Now, to kill the golems, I think this one is unfortunately a weird size because I measured it incorrectly at the beginning. That should be fine because their hitbox is bigger than one block anyway. Oh my god, look at all this iron we're producing. So it looks like there might be a safe spot in this one just there. I don't think so, actually. No, they shouldn't be able to fit in that and take no damage. This is, of course, also a poppy farm. This also seems to work all the way back at my base there, which is shocking. It's shocking. And also unfortunate. I actually meant to build this somewhere that was so far out of the way that that you had to come specifically out of your way to load it. That just means that this will overflow and have too much iron in it. It's not a big deal because I can always just create like an auto-destroy thing for when it gets full. But, oh well, it is what it is. So there it is. That's the iron farm finally finished producing iron. You can AFK safely here. Officially the way up is to swim up this tube. We'll figure something else out later. This is just it functioning. Also, I have to put walls around this so that I don't get tridented to death. But we are already producing some iron. It's fun to watch it go. Oh, 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 oh! There you go. That's why you always give everything a quick look over once. Because you never know, you could have stuff like that happening. Or I just forgot to open a gate. Cool. It's going to slow down a whole bunch now because, of course, the backlog is dead. But, yeah, that's what. How much iron do we already have? 3 stacks? It's been minutes. It's been minutes. Fantastic. Not too shabby. This will produce plenty, especially since it's loaded all the time. Like, I don't want it to be too fast. This is great. I'm happy with it. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was kind of hoping it would be redonkulous, but I suppose I'm only at 80% capacity. Right. Let's try and watch it happen. I'll see if I can get a demonstration. Where? Okay, he's there. So he's gonna sit there, and a golem's gonna come out of that one, which means none's gonna come out of this one. At least that's what it's done so far in my viewing of it. Yeah, none. So in all my research, I didn't discover... I think it's like 20 some odd blocks in difference. I didn't discover anything that made it so that they had to be so far apart. Like, that should have been fine. I guess I was mistaken, and these guys detect that golem having been spawned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an extra 2 comparators there for a delay and 2 comparators there for a delay. And that should, in theory, fix our problem. Wow, oh my god. Wow. We are producing iron. Holy cow. Okay, I'm going to stop gushing. I want to go add that comparator and see if it solves the problem.